Hey guys, I am really excited for today's video. I'm going to be trying a bunch of new makeup to me, and these are not just new pieces, but these brands I've only played with a little bit, so I still consider them like fairly new to me. So Florasis sent me some things, Kaleidos sent me a few things, and Dear Dahlia sent me a few things. And so I thought I would just combine this into like one video and use as many of the products as possible. The one thing that none of these companies sent me, which is totally fine, is like base products. So I did put on my Kjaer Weis, the beautiful tint. I've been going hard with this, you guys. I put this on for foundation, and then I put on my Dior Backstage Concealer. You guys have seen me use those two products a gazillion times. So I just went ahead and put them on to start this video, and then we could just kind of jump into these new goodies. All right, so the first thing I wanted to share with you is from Florasis, and they sent over a bunch of their new powders. So these powders just launched like literally a couple days ago on their site, and they sent me some of their loose powder and some of their pressed powder. So the loose powder is called the Gorgeous Peach Blossom Powder, and the pressed powder is called the Gorgeous Peach Blossom Silk Powder. So I am working with Florasis on this video. A big thank you to them for working with me and sending over these products. I am really excited to try these out. So let me just go ahead and show you the box packaging first. Really beautiful. And I have to admit, the first thing that caught my eye when it came to Florasis is their packaging, their presentation. It is really gorgeous, eye-catching sort of packaging. So here is the compact for the loose powder. It has, sorry, I think the reflection is sort of blurring it out, but there's this beautiful like engraving on the underside of this. Really gorgeous. And then I was sitting here kind of struggling on how to open this powder package, but there's actually a sticker that comes on this on top that shows you how to open this. So what you do actually is twist, and then you can open. So it's really nice and secure, which I think is important for loose powder. So twisting, flipping open, comes with this beautiful puff, and then it almost looks like a cushion compact, but let me go ahead and flip this open. So here is the protective cover. Let me just go ahead and lift that off. Here's the powder. So there is like a net over the loose powder. So this is shade number 3. It essentially looks white in the packaging. And then they also sent over shade 5, and here are the instructions I was talking about. It actually shows you that you need to twist, twist the lid and then flip it open. So I'm gonna go ahead and just peel that off now. And then let me just show you this number 5 shade. So this has a very light lilac tint to it. I think you can see that. I see it in the monitor. I hope it's coming across the camera. Actually, let me show you the back here. I think you can see it there. Do you see like that purple tint? So that's really great if your skin has a little bit of yellow to it. It is really brightening, and it kind of neutralizes the yellow. So that light lilac-y shade is really great for brightening in an overall sense. So let me go ahead and also show you, while we're at it, the Gorgeous Peach Blossom Silk Powder, which is their pressed powder. And again, all of these powders are new to the Florasis line. So here is the packaging for the pressed powder. So the packaging for the pressed powder is a little bit flatter than the loose powder. That's pretty normal. And then this cover has this really, can you see that? Like kind of interesting iridescent holographic kind of effect to the top. It's so cool. So the lid is magnetized, it just flips open. Yeah, and it snaps shut. So here, another beautiful puff. Here is the pressed powder. And this is in shade number 2, which also looks white in the pan. So all of these powders are talc-free, which is really incredible. And they're also formulated for sensitive skin, which I have. So I'm really excited for this. And they're also meant to keep the like shine at bay for 24 hours. So these powders are no joke. I'm sitting here trying to figure out which powder to use. I think what I'll do is use a little bit of the loose powder on one side and a little bit of the pressed powder on the other. And we'll just sort of take a look from there. So I'm going to use shade number 3 in the loose powder, which is like the white one. I'm not going to use the purple lilac tinted one because I kind of want to compare apples to apples, if you will. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the loose powder. This is so exciting. There is a mirror in this compact, by the way. And I'm just going to take my Chikuhodo powder brush. I'm just going to pick up a little bit, start there, and just put that where I have a little bit of shine here. And these powders could not have come at a better time. It has been so brutally warm here in Vegas. And I, as you guys know, I have dry skin, but my skin has been so glowy because of the warm weather that this is very much welcome. Wow. Definitely mattifying. So here's the loose powder, here's no powder. So definitely mattifying and really blurred out my pores here. I'm going to zoom in here so you can see my pores over here where there's no powder. And then here is the powder. Really blurred that out. Wow, that's lovely. And you saw I used just a smidgen of that powder. It is very, very effective. So I'm going to pick up just a little bit more and just add it to the base of my nose here. That also gets really shiny. Wow, and my skin feels super smooth, really, really silky, silky smooth. This powder is incredibly finely milled. So that's their new loose powder. Let's go ahead and play with their pressed powder. And again, I'm gonna put it on this side. This compact also has a mirror in there. I don't think I pointed that out. I'm gonna take a fresh brush. I've got my Beautylish Yano Series brush number 2. And I'm just gonna pick up a little bit as well. So here it is on the brush. See, just a tiny bit. I wanna see how effective this is. And just press that. I'm gonna pick up a little bit more. Okay, so there's the pressed powder. I think it's less mattifying than the loose powder, but it's just as blurring. Ooh, that's very nice. I'm gonna zoom in again. So again, this side is the loose powder. I feel like that looks a little bit more mattifying, and then this is the pressed powder and just as blurring. Ooh, very nice. I'm gonna add a little bit more of the pressed powder onto this side of my face and see if it becomes more matte the more I build it up. Ah, yes. So adding a second layer of that powder, I feel like I did a nice job, like really kind of matching the mattifying effect of the loose powder. Very nice. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit to the end of my nose on this side. And then just to like between my brows here, that gets very shiny also. Ooh, really lovely. I think both powders have pretty much the same effect. So I would say it is down to personal preference, whether you like loose powder, whether you like pressed powder. If you like to carry powder around with you, obviously I would go with the pressed powder versus the loose powder, but they both do such a good job blurring. Oh, I love, love, love when my big old pores are blurred out. Very nice. Okay, so those are new powders from Florasis. So next I want to use the Florasis Flowery Makeup Relief Palette. Here's the box packaging. And I've used like a Florasis eyeshadow palette with you guys before. Again, their presentation is so incredible. So here is what the compact looks like. I'm gonna just peel off this protective sticker here. And this also, I don't know if you can see it, this also has like a color shift in the lid. It's really pretty. It goes from like purple to blue, almost like oil slick. Oh, I don't think the camera's picking it up. Darn it. Anyway, there are 4 products in here, and this is meant to be like a face palette. So we have a highlight, this one's a shimmer, this one's a matte. We've got like a bronzer, contour, and then we have a blush. So here are the 4 products. So these are the 3 matte powders, and then here is the highlight. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh my God, I love it. And it feels so creamy and soft to the touch. And can we just appreciate the engraving? Isn't that incredible? It's so fine and detailed. It's really, really just like mind-blowing. Okay, I'm gonna start with the like bronzer contour product, and I've got my Sonia G Face Pro brush, and product picks up easily. And I believe these products are baked powders, but they are really soft. Like a lot of the baked like gel powder products that I've used with you guys, I always talk about how they're a little bit firmer in the pan. They're a little bit more difficult to pick up, like use a dense, firm brush. I would not say the same thing about these. I do believe they're baked, but they're not difficult to pick up. They are definitely different. So there's the bronzer applied. Very nice. Blends out beautifully. Softly pigmented, so I don't feel like, you know, I'm in danger of like really overdoing it. Really pretty and nice, nice neutral tone. I don't see too much warmth in there. Like I don't see like an orange tinge to it, but I also don't see too much gray in there either. So it's not too cool tone. Very, very neutral. Very pretty. So this palette is formulated with calendula and peony extract, and it makes the product really, really soft and silky and easy to blend. So there's the bronzer contour applied. So pretty. Okay, let me go ahead and go into the blush now. I'm just going to go ahead and use the same brush, the Face Pro from Sonia G, and just going to apply that to my cheeks. Very nice. Again, really like lovely level of pigment. Not too much, not too crazy. And it blends out really beautifully. And I love that like really kind of subtle sheen to it. They're definitely a matte powder, but the formula is so creamy that I feel like it kind of comes through in its finish. All right, blush and bronzer are now applied. You know, I'm looking at my skin. It looks so like velvety, which is really, really beautiful. I only put the powder here where I tend to get shiny and I have those, you know, larger pores and on the tip of my nose and between my eyebrows. But this whole like face palette has given me like this really beautiful, like smooth, kind of blurred out, soft, kind of velvety, fuzzy effect. It's really pretty. All right, so I'm sure you guys could guess between these two powders. I'm gonna go ahead and dip into the one that is shimmery. And I've got my Surratt highlight brush here. And woo. Oh, wow. Woo. Ooh, that's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Wow, that is friggin' smooth. Holy crow. Try not to curse here. Holy smokes. Holy highlight. Wow. Oof, okay. That is some bold highlight. Let me match that up on the other side here. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, that looks super duper wet. I'm gonna go back to the number 2 brush and just blend it down over the blush there, just to make it more seamless. That is intense. I really love how wet that looks. That is fantastic. So that is the Flowery Makeup Relief Palette. Oh, amazing. Okay. All right. So moving on, I did want to play with some Kaleidos products. So they did send me some blushes, but I have this blush on. But let me just show them to you because they're really pretty. Again, this packaging is, I mean, companies are really knocking it out of the park with this packaging. So here's the Kaleidos blush. It's like puffy, and then it's satin with this black lace, like actual satin with actual black lace over it. It's not just like a rendering of it. And then Kaleidos is like a plaque on there. So here is one blush I was thinking about trying. This one is, let's see, the Kaleidos Mono Blush in Joyride. So there's that blush. Let me just do a quick swatch. Ooh, super soft. So that's Joyride. It's almost like right in between these two shades from the Florasis palette. This Joyride. Ooh, that's pretty. And then I pulled out the Mono Blush in Ecstasy. Same idea with the packaging, but they change up the color to let you know like what shade is inside. It's just, yeah, it's really incredible. Look at this. Really pretty, pretty pinky peach. Wow, isn't that pretty? You know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put a little bit of this just on the apples of my cheeks. I'm gonna take that same Yano number 2 brush and just pop it right there. Ooh, it's really brightening. So that is, what's the color name again? Ecstasy. The Mono Blush in Ecstasy. So I'm gonna use my Florasis eyebrow pencil. This I've actually demoed for you in the past. And yeah, I've had this a while. So this is, well, I'll link everything down below. A lot of the writing on the packaging is in Chinese, which I can't read. Sorry, Mom. But here is the shape of the pencil tip. It's like a very kind of like narrow, like oval. And it does have a brush on the other side. or spoolie, I should say. All right, for eyeshadow, we're gonna dig into this Kaleidos Quad. This is called Cold Brew, and I believe it's from the same line as this. I can tell by the packaging. So pretty. Here are the 4 shades. Isn't that pretty? And it does have a mirror on the inside. Whoa, the pigmentation is intense, and these powders are so soft. Holy smokes, look at that shine of the shiny one. So we've got 3 mattes and then this really high shine metallic shade. All right, I've got my Refer number 1, like flat shader brush. I'm gonna go into the lightest matte shade here and start at the inner corner. Really silky, soft. They blend really nicely. Okay, and then I'm gonna dip into this medium matte shade here and just add that to the outer corner. Very pretty. I really like how these are performing. Super silky soft. And they're kind of like almost instantaneously blown out. Next, I've got my Sonia G Smudger 2 brush, and I'm gonna go into the deepest matte shade and just line my lids with it. All right, there's the Kaleidos matte shades down, and now I'm so excited. I think I'm just gonna use my finger and I'm going to just apply this shimmery metallic all over, or should I just kind of put it in the middle? Let's start there. I'm gonna put it in the middle, so I'm just gonna use my finger, which is dirty, hang on, and just tap in the center here. Wow, that's really pretty. I'm gonna take my Refer number 1 brush and just blend out the edges. All right, the Kaleidos Cold Brew Quad. Very lovely. Let's move on to mascara. I'm just gonna go ahead and curl my lashes. And I'm just gonna use a Florasis mascara. And this I know I definitely have used for you guys in the past. This has such an interesting wand. There's bristles, but they're so teeny tiny and really, really close. It almost looks like velvet. It's really neat. I think this is the Pine Soot mascara. Anyway, like I said, there's just Chinese writing on here. So I'm gonna link, of course, link everything down below in the description box. But this is just like the coolest looking wand ever. And I like this formula because it is not too wet. You guys know I don't like a really wet mascara because they just tend to be messy. I'm also very clumsy, so I can't be trusted with a wet mascara. Okay, mascara is applied. Really lovely. It's a very kind of like soft, feminine kind of mascara. Just my lashes just look a little extra fluttery. So last but not least, Dear Dahlia. This is a K-beauty brand. I believe they're vegan. And they sent me a whole bunch of tinted lip balms. So let me go ahead and unpack some of these and do some swatches. Okay, so these are the Blooming Edition Lip Paradise Color Balm lip balm. And Dear Dahlia is a K-beauty brand. And like I said, they're a vegan brand. So this first shade is Gabby. Look at this packaging. It's like this rose gold finished octagon shape packaging. So there is Gabby. Oh, let me show you what it looks like in the tube. And it says, I don't know if you guys can see that, it says Dear Dahlia in script around the actual tube there. Next we have Lauren. This is a really pretty nude shade. So there's Lauren. Next we have Blair. You guys knew I had to pull out this bright orange. So there is Blair. Oh, and this one is Gabby. Hold on, I got one of the colors wrong. So this one is Gabby. This one is Giselle. So Giselle, Lauren, Blair, Gabby. All right, so I'm gonna start with Gabby. Ooh, nice. So there's a little bit more pigmentation than I was expecting for a tinted lip balm. But yeah, I would say there's like a medium level of pigmentation. There's no flavor, there's no mintiness. I don't really smell anything. Lovely. So this one is Blair, the orange one. Ooh, I like this. Actually comes off like on your lips, like a little bit more peachy versus like straight up orange. Here is Lauren. This is the one that was the most nude. Very pretty. Super like everyday kind of shade. And last but not least, here is Giselle, which is like the most pink. Pretty. I think it goes with the rest of my look really, really nicely. Nice. Well, thank you to Dear Dahlia for sending over some of their tinted lip balms. These are really comfortable on the lips. Well, that is it for this video. I had so much fun trying on all of this stuff for you guys. A big thank you to Florasis for working with me on this video. Let me know if you guys have any questions down below in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.